the primary courses that students will take will be in nursing, with 12 credits out of the Center for Healthcare Ethics. But if you go online, you'll be able to see that. But just briefly, the student will be well grounded in the state of science, be well grounded in structure of knowledge, and methods courses. There are a series of methods courses, and there are 2 practicum courses. The students will not take exactly the same courses that other students in the PhD program, and we mix the cohorts. So, for instance, students will start together in May with the summer course. They all will take that. And then students in the fall, the healthcare PhD in healthcare in nursing ethics will veer off and take 1 course in healthcare ethics and 1 in nursing. Our usual course is a course of study is 2 courses a semester. So there are maybe 1 or 2 semesters where they would just be taking nursing courses, but most are intermixed with the healthcare ethics. Just a couple of things I think worth mentioning. For the students seeking a PhD in nursing ethics, there are 3 residency requirements. The first residency requirement is in the 3rd week in May, and it's very much of an orientation. It's an opportunity to meet faculty and learn about your particular program. The second residency requirement, we do require that our students study abroad. Students will study abroad, at least they have currently studied abroad in Ireland. We have a partnership with the University of College Dublin, and the course starts online. There are 2 courses students take, equaling 7 credits. The courses start online, and then in June, students and faculty go to University of College Dublin for about 2 weeks, sometimes a little bit less, from 12 to 14 days, and we have the opportunity to learn from our Irish colleagues about qualitative research, about mixed methods research, and about measurement issues in nursing. This is a really golden opportunity. We also come together for an action research conference, which again is another form of inquiry that would be valuable, I believe, to nurse ethicists. So also would like to mention the way the program works. You pay your tuition, and we then use your tuition money to take you to Ireland. Now, it doesn't cover all the costs, but it covers the majority of cost. And it really is a wonderful opportunity. But that is a requirement, so you would need to know that coming in, that you would have to go for this period of time in the 2nd summer. The final residency opportunity is for the final defense. Students would need to come to Duquesne to defend their dissertation. That's done in a public forum. We also use technology very similar to this, that it can be broadcast for your family and friends or colleagues wherever you may live. But those are the 3 residency requirements that are required for the program. Michael, would you like to talk a little bit about the Hce courses?
I think this is a very exciting feature of the PhD Nursing Ethics program. The coursework in healthcare ethics that is a component of the PhD in Nursing Ethics program involves 4 courses, which will give PhD students a really broad and rigorous initiation into 3 dimensions of healthcare ethics. On the one hand, it'll be a rigorous introduction overview of various methodologies and normative analysis. So one of the courses is devoted to looking at the various methods that have been employed in normative analysis since bioethics as a field really became into its own in the 70s. There's also a course that will orient and initiate students into various methodologies and empirical research in healthcare ethics. So they'll get that sort of dual framework of both normative analysis but also training in how to conduct empirical research in ethics. There is also substantive courses, so an ethics of care course and a clinical ethics course. Both of those courses will be less about methodology and much more about content, actually looking at real-world clinical ethics problems that nurses and any clinician really would face in the context of healthcare. One of those courses is just called Clinical Ethics, and it is a formative initiation into these main questions in healthcare ethics. And the other course is the Ethics of Care. This is a really neat course because traditionally nursing has been associated with provision of care. And there was almost sort of a stereotyping involved where if nursing ethics is going to be a distinct field, it must draw from an ethics of care, which is in itself a trend within philosophical normative ethics, which began in the 80s. But the way in which the center approaches it is not as though nursing ethics is pigeonholed in a particular method or a particular framework in ethics. And so while there is a bit of reverence to the past development of nursing ethics, which really focus on ethics of care, the course and the coursework at the Healthcare Ethics Center will allow nurses also to see the various directions in which nursing ethics is going today. In the last decade, nursing ethics has really defined itself as a distinct sub-area in healthcare ethics. It's not clear that the traditional methodologies are easily applied to nursing, but it's also not clear that nursing ethics is completely autonomous or distinct in its methodologies. And so there's a lot of room here to explore what are the implications of a distinctively nursing ethics, what is the relationship of methodologies and frameworks in nursing ethics to the broader frameworks that have been utilized in biomedical ethics, and what is distinct about nursing practice that raises unique ethical questions that are pressing and may not be easily answerable by traditional methods and frameworks in normative ethics. So it's a very exciting time, I think, for nursing ethics generally, but especially and specifically at Duquesne University.
Yeah, there really is an opportunity here to make a contribution to the field. Nursing ethics has, in general, a lot of room for rigorous contributions at this point in time as it's expanding and developing. And I think, for the reasons Michael mentioned, Duquesne is an ideal place to get the relevant background that will allow a person to make those sorts of contributions. So along those lines, I'd like to say a little bit about kind of the types of dissertation topics that one might choose. The dissertation topic, will be up to the student, and the thinking about the dissertation topic will begin almost immediately upon entering the program. The courses in healthcare ethics, and Michael may be able to speak more to this, are designed to start students thinking about what their dissertation topic will be and to develop some of the initial thoughts, arguments, questions, frameworks that will be used when writing the dissertation. So in that way, there's kind of a streamlined approach to completing the degree. The final product, if you will be started almost from the get-go, at least in its nascent form, and then it'll get fleshed out as the student progresses into the actual dissertation writing. And as far as what types of topics, again, it is going to be a normatively focused dissertation. That doesn't mean that empirical research won't play a major role, but it does mean that conducting empirical research is not a requirement of the dissertation. This is in contrast to a traditional PhD in nursing where a student will actually conduct qualitative or quantitative research, him or herself. That is not going to be necessary for a PhD in nursing ethics. What is necessary is a sustained ethical argument for a controversial position. Again, that might include substantial empirical background that grounds the premises of that argument and forms the framework for the questions that are being asked. But a student who's interested in this degree is going to be more concerned and focused on what are the ethical implications of that research, not in conducting that research per se. Now, that doesn't rule out conducting empirical research, but it's not going to be a requirement or the focus of the project that the student completes.
Well, actually, in the course Methods of Scientific Inquiry 2 and the corresponding qualitative practicum, students will do a mini study. So they'll get their, it is something that, at least our hope in the PhD program is that will inform their normative work. That it could do that, at least it could inform it. So they'll have a little taste of that, but you're right, it will not be in terms of the grander dissertation. I do think it would probably be important to also mention the way the structure would flow. Since the dissertation would be a normative analysis, in every PhD program, at a certain point, the students choose a chair. The chair will be someone from the Center for Healthcare Ethics, And then there's a second member, which we call the internal member, will be of nursing faculty, because we do believe that the forefront of the work the students will be doing will be in ethics, but it will be grounded in nursing. So that's why we have those two faculty as part of the committee. That is the choice of the student, who that will be. And then there will be an external member, which can be the student's choice, or actually it'll be the committee's choice. It'll be someone that would kind of promote the success of the student. So when we look at it from those three perspectives.